Okay, welcome to episode 7 of SneetCast.
As Chef's mom put it, welcome to Sneet Shit.
Oh,
Sneet shit and die.
oh, jeez. Okay,
Sneet die.
welcome to
repeat.
episode 7. I'm Brian.
I'm Ryan.
White.
Dude.
Throwing it to him and he just sandbagged.
All you had to do was say your goddamn name. Why is...
Anyway, I'm Chef.
I'm Parker.
Okay. I don't even know if we're ready, but I pressed record
Alright,
anyway.
we're
I
not
don't care.
Screaming reprise.
Oh, no.
Brian says we're not allowed to whisper into the mics, but he said nothing about shouting.
I mean, give a warning. Just give warning before you shout at least.
All right, Brian. I'm about to shout.
Okay. So, who wants to start this week? Let's just get right into it. Fuck it.
Brian,
I don't
you
have like
start.
anything to talk. I can get the Halo bit out of the way right away because Halo Infinite got delayed, and I never in a million years would have thought it would actually get delayed because it's like the only launch game the Series X has.
It's just because they were like, look at our game, and everyone went, haha, monkey.
No, dude, there's been like other behind the scenes stuff going on. I mean, like the creative lead left like a year ago or something.
The lead producer,
Or
they have to
that,
find a new
yeah.
one, right?
Yeah, something like that. It was compounded by the like graphical stuff, but like behind the scenes, they were like, we might not be able to ship the multiplayer with the campaign at the same time, so they were like, yeah, fuck that, and that's why they ended up like releasing it late. But I'm sure the graphical brouhaha did not help.
I'll never understand why okay, delays are fine, and delays are usually, I'm not going to say delays make a good product, but they always give the chance for it to be better than if it was not delayed.
Delays are literally never a bad thing. Like, I don't.
But I don't understand why studios will like put out a release date if it's possible that within a few weeks they're going to delay it. Like, that was like a month ago that the Halo Infinite thing got
Well,
shown
they never
off.
gave a release date for it
Oh, well then how is it delay if we don't know the date?
because it was supposed to be a launch game for the Series X, and they said it's coming next year now. So
I have a random question. Is Halo Infinite going to be another game that's both Xbox One and Series X?
Yes.
Or is it like
Yes.
exclusive Series
they
X?
said for the first like 2 or 3 years of the console's life, it's going to be all Xbox One and Series X games,
Interesting.
which I think is really stupid, but also kind of a pro-consumer move. I don't know how to feel about it.
It is pro-consumer, so I'll give them that. Because, like, obviously they're going to be better on Series X. Like, it's not going to be a direct...
yeah.
It's not going to be ports, right? It's going to flat out, like, you're going to get
should
better...
be, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't really
you
feel
I
think-
feel like most games should be... They should do the pro-consumer thing and have it be on both. But I feel like there should be the few exclusives where it's like, no, it's only on Series X, and that's, like, the selling point because the game is that impressive that we can't do on Xbox One.
Yeah, like I don't know if they confirmed.
Same thing
if-
goes for
like
PS5, obviously.
Yeah, but I don't know if they confirm stuff like Fable or the new Obsidian RPG is going to be both or just Series X.
Do you guys remember
know.
the first year or two of No, actually, it was the first like 3 years of Xbox One and PS4, where PS3 and 360 versions of the games would still be made, but they were outsourced to different studios, and like Mortal Kombat 10 is on 360, and it ain't the same game.
Oh, yeah. So is like the first of the new Tomb Raider games. I think the first and second of the new
No,
Tomb Raider
but that was a 360 game
Oh, that got
first.
put up. Well,
And
I know
put it
stuff
up.
like Oh my god, I literally had it and then I forgot. Titanfall. Titanfall was another one of those.
There's a
where-
360 version of Titanfall.
Yes, and it's pretty good actually. Apparently, it is
Well,
a
I'm
very
talking about-
good.
I'm
addition.
talking
Well, you're
about
talking
when-
about the first Titanfall,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
and I
yeah.
believe that.
Yeah,
But I'm talking about when they like
early 2014.
like Mortal Kombat 10 came out in 2015, and they had another studio make the game. And there was a couple examples of that. I can't think of any off the top of my head besides that one. But I just remember it being a weird trend. I know Ubisoft did they did a thing with Assassin's Creed, but they like didn't say they were the same game. They were just like, I think they made, what was the really bad one? Unity?
Yeah,
I think they made Unity,
is
and at the
really
same
bad
time, Syndicate came out on previous consoles, and people were
No,
like,
I know what you're talking about, but that's not. You got the completely wrong games.
which ones was it then?
Because they made. Black Flag was successful, so they made another game that was very heavily ship based, and that was on previous consoles only.
Isn't that Syndicate?
It's not Syndicate. Syndicate was next gen because it came. after Unity, not at the same time.
I thought the next one after Unity was the
Odyssey, if that's
Egypt
what you're
one.
thinking.
No, that was after
Origins.
Syndicate.
Yeah,
Syndicate
Origins
is
was
actually a
after
good
Syndicate.
game. People
No,
say
yeah,
it's good.
but okay. I'm gonna look this up. Because
Unity was like 2014, and then
I know-
Syndicate was like 2015.
I know exactly
2016.
what the game is. I just don't remember the
then
name of it.
Origins
But I
was like
remember
2018.
it's like a semi-sequel, I think, to Black Flag because they focus
Blacker
way more.
Flag.
They focus way more on ships in that game, and for I think it was Unity that was supposed to be the next gen one. It was supposed to be like more classical Assassin's Creed, climb buildings, trailing missions, that shit.
I think trailing missions are the worst thing to come out of Assassin's Creed. Sorry, this is such a tangent, but they're like
Here it
the
is.
worst thing ever.
Assassin's Creed Rogue.
I knew it. Yeah,
Came out-
that's what it was.
That came out at the same
Yeah.
time as Unity, and Rogue was supposed to be pretty good, and no one talks about it now.
Yeah, no one because no one bought it because no one wanted the previous gen game. But
Yeah.
I don't know. People shit on Unity all the time, but like, did they fix the game after launch? Because
Part of
obviously
me
at
doubts
launch
it.
it was horrible, but like
I mean,
Did they?
If anything, I'd believe that maybe they fixed the things where like people's faces are melting, but I don't think
Alright.
they fixed like everything.
okay, I don't even know how that game plays. I know it takes place in France and that's it. I don't
Probably
even know
plays
if it
like
was like
every other Assassin's Creed.
Not
game
not
does.
to okay.
not every. They change it up.
Well, I know Origins is like
Like Assassin's Creed
loosely
3
Dark
does not play like 2.
Souls-esque.
I'll say that. And of course 4 has the ships and that's a huge part.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say every single Assassin's Creed game is exactly the same. They just copy and paste some side missions and shit.
Yeah.
I don't mean to steal the conversation, but like you, because you said that people didn't want to play the last gen game. Can you think of games that were able to break that? The like, it's on last gen, but people still bought it. Because the only example I can think of is God of War 2, was a PlayStation 2 game that came out a year after the PS3 was out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Only
totally
on the
honest,
PS2?
I can't.
Yes, God of War 2. Yeah,
I don't think anything would do that anymore. That feels like such an outlier to me because I can't even. I don't know. I can't imagine a company
Well,
having
but-
like, hey, here's our big exclusive game. It's only gonna be out on the last gen console.
I mean, I
Like,
don't
that
know.
feels insane to me.
I know. Like, Yakuza 2 was only on PS2 in 2008, 2 years
Yeah.
after the PS3 came out. But that game,
Also, you're
was
talking about
probably
the PS2.
ignored.
The
Yeah,
PS2, I feel, is like a different beast to talk about because of just how insanely successful it was.
To be honest, I feel like I can name examples, but only for classic games.
yeah, there's a shit ton of NES games.
I can tell you a bunch of like NES, Super Nintendo, even Nintendo 64, PS1 games that had like AAA titles like near the end of its cycle while the new consoles were already out.
Pokemon Black and White 2 came out on DS a year after the 3DS.
Oh yeah,
came out.
everybody was wondering why they didn't
Oh.
Or the same year
make
as the 3DS.
a 3DS Pokemon game at the time. Like we got X and Y pretty late in the.
No,
I
it
would
was
say
like, it was
late,
2
but,
years
like-
after. It was 2 years after 3DS came out, which is 1 year after everyone bought a 3DS because 3DS sold like shit its first year because it was horribly overpriced.
Was it because it was overpriced?
It got it after me, and I think you also had one already. A couple of us already had it, and then it got a big like $50 price drop like a couple months in.
I thought it was just because of the launch titles weren't the best.
I mean that's probably it
Because
too.
if I remember correctly, a lot of the launch titles for 3DS were very short games, or a lot of people thought they were just like demos almost.
Or it was like
Steel Driver was one of the launch titles.
Steel Diver.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's a submarine.
Both titles make sense to me, so I don't care. But like Pilot Wings, people liked, but again, everyone thought it was really short.
Ocarina of Time 3D, which
That
which
wasn't
was,
launch, was
it
it?
was like a month after launch.
Oh,
But even then, that's just Ocarina of Time. Like,
I remember Lego Star Wars 3 was one of the third-party games they were banking on, and it didn't do anything with 3D, and the game, even on consoles, wasn't even that good.
I feel like that system also probably had the like Wii U problem of the name being stupid. Because like
But
3DS to
people-
me, like my parents would just go, "Oh, it's just a DS with 3D and like nothing else. Like, why do I need to buy this?" You know
Well,
what
I mean, I don't know. The 3D at least differentiated it enough. I think that people
At least
understood
people
what it
knew.
was.
Yeah, people knew what the difference
Like
was.
it is
For
just
Wii
a
U,
DS with 3D, kind of.
For Wii
yeah,
U,
but
if you said
needed
Wii U,
to play some stuff.
if you said Wii U to someone, they would have no idea what the difference was. Everyone legit thought it was just a controller for the Wii.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
3DS. At least people were
They
like,
knew
"Oh,
you
this is a." Even if you thought it was the same but with 3D, at least they knew what the difference was.
They knew that you had to buy it,
Like, what the
buy the whole
fuck?
console again. That not that you had to, like the Wii U issue was that they thought they could buy, like it was just the tablet that you
Like,
could
what
get
the fuck
for the
was
Wii.
the U for? Nintendo even tried to explain it, and it was a
It's
non-answer.
Because we and you, I don't know, like
Stupid.
yeah.
it shouldn't have even had
The
the
Wii is
name.
the Wii is one of the best selling consoles of all time and has tons of amazing games. I love the Wii. The name is fucking stupid. Like it I mean, I guess it works for branding because everyone knows what it is.
I don't think it was
No,
horrible.
I don't think the Wii
thought,
name's that bad.
To be honest, I like the logo because like in every commercial, the two eyes bow and all that. And
Yeah,
then,
and they look like.
and it's
the-
called
the-
Wii
the
because it was
controllers.
supposed to be a family thing. They wanted people to be together, and it accomplished that.
I just wonder. I wonder how they went from calling it the Nintendo Revolution to the Wii within like a year.
I don't know.
I don't know. The Revolution's a way
I
worse
don't know.
name. than
Wasn't
the Wii, I think.
GameCube supposed to be Dolphin?
That's a better
That's the
name
prototype
than
name.
GameCube,
They
I
never
think.
go with the prototype names, even though they're.
Oh yeah, the Wii U
awesome.
prototype name was Cafe, and
Yeah.
the Switch was NX. But
Xbox
I think-
had-
I
will
think if
always
they would've-
remember Kinect being Project Natal and not knowing what the hell a Natal was.
yeah, Xbox has some good ones, like the
Scorpio,
the 1X was the Scorpio, and then
Scarlet.
Series X was Scarlet.
See, those are better names
Yeah.
than the things they did.
Oh, other
Honestly-
than Series X, oh my god, yeah.
Series
Series
X
X is
is
like the
legit
dumbest
the
name
wor-
ever.
Xbox One
X.
was already the dumbest name, and then they had the
Yeah.
Xbox One X. See, it's
X1 box next.
Yeah, exactly. Like you, it's a fucking tongue twister to say half these
I-
names.
Xbox One X, and then they made the next gen console Xbox Series X.
I
Yeah,
kind
you
of
have
like
the,
which
X,
is like-
the X Bone, the Xbox Sad, the
Which is,
fucking.
it makes me.
the Xbox Sex.
Did they confirm that
Yeah.
they're actually gonna make a series? Like, are they gonna make an Xbox Series Y?
What the fuck? No, that's. Yeah.
They're just trying to see how many X's they can get in.
Well, they
I
already
think-
they
I think
already
so.
they already had the Xbox One X, which abbreviates to just Xbox.
just wait for the Xbox Xylophone Xenomorph X.
Can't wait for Xbox Series X XL.
Oh,
That's gonna be the pro name.
and it will be
like
a
who is
refrigerator.
naming things at Microsoft? I want to just strangle them. There's
It's Bill Gates.
fuck you, Bill
They're gonna
Gates.
get like a VR headset, but it's gonna be like the VXR,
Bill
the
Gates.
virtual X reality.
It will. It will.
Bill Gates wakes up in the middle of the night and goes, "Series X."
No, he wakes up in the middle of the night and says, "I can jump
He
over." a
uses his
desk chair."
window phone to call everybody, like, guys, and it doesn't work because they stopped producing those.
and then he jumps over a desk chair from a standing position.
What's that from?
There's a video of Bill
Sick
Gates
game.
going, "I can jump over a desk chair."
No, I know there's a video, but like, why did
I
he
don't-
do that?
I don't know. It's I think
To
it's from
show
an
off?
old like that's Microsoft video.
Showing off to the.
But,
emperor-
What a
lady.
nerd.
I-
Am
I
I
like-
right, guys?
For the console prototype names, I like Dolphin.
Dolphin's fine.
Like if it was called the Dolphin instead of the GameCube, I wouldn't. But care.
GameCube.
I
Come
mean,
on.
it's a cube for games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A dolphin.
I mean, it's
it's
not
shaped
far
like
off.
a cube. Why
It's
don't they
not
just call it
far
a
off
game?
it's an
from-
amazing name for the emulator.
Yeah.
It's not far off from PlayStation.
Yeah.
The prototype for that one, called the Nintendo PlayStation.
What a timeline that could have been.
I don't know.
That would've
So
been something.
what's better, the PlayStation naming convention or the Nintendo one? Because the Nintendo one, it's like, ooh, what's it gonna be called? And the PlayStation one is
PlayStation.
like
PlayStation 1.
PlayStation
Yeah.
6, PlayStation 7.
It's like Xbox at the bottom, Nintendo, and then.
It's funny because
See,
PlayStation
And then at the
tried-
very top of all of them is Sega.
hold on, at
See,
PlayStation
I like because
for
all
real.
the cats, the Jaguar, the Link. No, wait, no, that's Atari.
That's Atari. I'm talking
Atari,
about the Saturn, the Dreamcast. Oh, that's so fucking good, dude. The Genesis.
See,
on.
Genesis is pretty good.
Come on, man.
Bankruptcy.
And before that
Yeah.
was the Mega Drive. That was supposed to be their anti-NES
better.
console.
Dude, they have the best names.
32X.
That one's a little sus.
I was trying to say the one time Sony tried to break conventions in terms of naming was when they had the PlayStation Vita,
Vita means life.
and it totally backfired. Not
PlayStation
because
Vita?
of the name,
I like
but
that
like
name. I was gonna say
It's a fine name.
better
It's
than
just
PlayStation Portable.
It's a fine name.
it's just
as you drink your tea.
my cider.
Oh,
Oh,
Drink
God.
sounds.
all right.
All right.
All right, who?
Well,
Chef
Brian
or
was
Brian?
gonna go.
Yeah, I never.
Brian
mind.
apparently has things to talk about, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have some stuff too.
Well, I'm
prepared,
excited
like a
because I just wanted to bring up Scott Pilgrim versus the World. We talked about it last week.
The game.
Yeah, the game. The actual movie is celebrating its 10th anniversary, and the 10th anniversary was like last week between us recording the last episode and this episode.
I want to watch it again. It's been a few years.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I
to
watched
death.
it like
last time I watched
2
it
years
was
ago?
at our I think it was a high school graduation thing we were all at fucking sorry, person we know's house. Sorry about that. I'm so
Oh,
bad
I
with
do.
that.
I do remember
bleep
that.
You know what I'm talking
bleep
about, though.
that, Brian.
I think I will. I don't even know
Why?
if I finished
Why?
the movie when I was
Chef,
there.
why would you do that?
Oh,
You
how many
fucker.
are there in the world?
There's a lot.
It's only one that we know.
Every time we say his name, I'm gonna add a
we-
different soundbite of
No,
someone
just
screaming.
make everyone a bonk. Please make
I
everyone
like
a
mine
bonk.
more.
I like Brian's
I like
more.
Brian's more.
We already had
Make
some
it the
bonks.
noises that grunts make in Halo.
Oh yeah, actually do that. That's you can find that easy on YouTube.
Probably.
Um,
Yeah. But it was the 10th anniversary of the movie, and for like the entire past week, Edgar Wright just a crap ton of photos on all of his social media of like behind the scenes. And I thought it was really cute. I love that like they showed the very first day of filming was when Chris Evans played the one skateboarder turned
wait,
actor.
you say that was the
Evil
last day or
X.
the first day?
First day.
Okay.
I was about to talk about the last day, and then I thought of something from the first day. The very first day was them making the fake trailer for the movie that Chris Evans' character is in, where when Scott Pilgrim beats him up, it's on the set of that movie. So it's literally just them making this fake trailer with a phone booth and Chris Evans saying the most generic action movie, whatever crap.
It's fun.
The very last day, Brian Lee O'Malley was there, and he gave
The author, right?
Yeah, Brian Lee O'Malley created the Scott Pilgrim book series. He also made this book series called Seconds that I've always wanted to read. But he gave to the actors that played the characters, he gave personalized illustrations of the characters that they played, along with an autograph from both him and Edgar Wright saying, like, thank you for making the film and all that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I love the movie, so I brought it up. But also, we talked about how Ubisoft just didn't talk to Brian Lee O'Malley, even though like he would keep calling them about the game.
Yeah, and then
And literally, like, after we recorded that episode, and our episode wasn't even uploaded yet, Brian Lee O'Malley made a tweet saying, Ubisoft got back to me.
dude, he listened. I don't care if it wasn't uploaded yet. He listened to our podcast specifically, and was like,
This basement of Ryan's
Or not
is
him.
bugged.
not him. Ubisoft listened. They were listening.
Mr.
through-
Ubisoft is hiding in my walls.
Yes.
Listening to us.
So maybe Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, will come back. Who knows?
I
Just
mean,
put it on
it certainly
Steam.
sounds like it, and it
would-
can't be that difficult.
It would
I-
be
like,
great to have something with the game be done for the 10th anniversary of the movie.
I mean, to be fair, he could be like, they have contacted me, and it's just
Stop
no.
bugging
Yeah,
us.
it's just no.
Shut the fuck up.
Like
It's
that.
a
thing is, he
it's a
would've
bag
said
of burning
something, though,
dog
if it
shit
was
on his
no.
doorstep that just says from Ubisoft.
it's just like a copy of the book with all the characters' faces with X's drawn over them.
I'm so surprised. That's one of those things where hearing that Scott Pilgrim is 10 years old makes me realize how old I am, because I remember seeing the trailer for it on YouTube, on Machinima's YouTube channel.
Oh,
And I remember
Machinima.
really, really wanting to see it, But of course, I was so young that I needed a parent to drive me, and my parents were very like, "Stop going to see movies. Just we don't want to drive you everywhere."
I hadn't heard of it until like, I think like 2012 when I watched the first time. It was probably you and our other friend who were just like, Scott Pilgrim, and I was like, what is that?
I love it. It still holds up. I don't care.
Yeah, I want to watch it again.
It has a great soundtrack too.
Yeah.
It's all like garage rock.
Garbage truck.
Gonna take a ride in my
garbage
truck. Truck.
I've seen the movie. I don't remember that at all.
It's
just
like the song that they play at
right
the Battle of the
before-
Bands, right?
No, it was right before the first Evil X showed up, and they were playing like their first like big gig at what was the place called? There was a joke in both the book and the video game that called it a real toilet. And in the game, the establishing shot is literally like a gigantic toilet-shaped building. Not in the movie. It's only in the book and in the video game as like a visual gag.
I
think it was the rocket. I forget.
I think I also really like in the Battle of the Bands. The one band is like, the song is called "I Am So Sad, So Very Sad." It's just so sad.
That's on the soundtrack.
Yeah,
too.
I know. And he goes, "Thank you." This next song is called. Wait, because Kieran Culkin's
Wallace
character-
is on the balcony and
He,
he's
like,
like, "It's
boos
not a
them, right?"
race, guys."
And this, did they dedicate the song to him?
Yeah.
Then they're like,
Okay, this next
next
song
song
is
is
dedicated to the guy up
dedicated-
on the balcony. It's called "We Hate You, Please Die." And Wallace is like, "Great, I love this one." All while trying to mac on Scott's sister's boyfriend.
yeah. I was watching clips of it because as people are talking about it because of the 10th anniversary, and I know it's like the most popular clip and probably overdone, but the fucking bread makes you fat scene still makes me chuckle. Like,
They were doing a table read with almost the full cast.
I watched that clip of
with-
the table read
on Entertainment Weekly. It's like the entire movie they did it for the 10th anniversary cast, but this was done like a month or two ago. And I remember when that scene came up, like the entire casting crew was just like applauding that one line.
Bread makes you fat. Do you remember what's her name? Aubrey Plaza's character has the like the have you ever watched Scott Pilgrim?
No.
Okay, I'll explain it for you, and I don't know if Ryan will remember, but Aubrey Plaza's character, she has this thing where she keeps dropping F-bombs, and like a black bar comes over her mouth and censors it, and she's like, and it, like bleeps it, and like after she does it, like talks a couple times. Scott's like, "How are you doing that with your mouth?" And she's like, "Never mind how I'm fucking doing that with my mouth." And did you see Brian in the table read?
I didn't watch the full table read,
I
so I
watched
don't
that
know what
clip.
they did with that.
She's going, and whenever she does it, she had a little popsicle stick with a black bar on top and held it over her mouth. And I don't think anyone else knew she was going to do that because they all started cracking up. I watched, like, I went through the comments and I found somebody who, like, timestamped a bunch of moments. So I watched, like, when Knives dyes her hair to look like Ramona, and the actress, again, I don't think anyone knew she was going to do this, like, went off camera and then came back with a pink wig on.
Awesome. That movie had an amazing cast too, and a lot of them were before they became like mega stars.
You know what it's like
Isn't
it's
Michael
like
Cera in that movie?
yeah, he's the main
Yeah.
character.
He's the most famous one from the cast.
Chris Evans is the most famous
No.
one from the cast.
No Parker. Michael Cera.
But it has like a Wet Hot American Summer level of just like tons of famous people who are now way bigger than they were.
Yeah, you'd think that Scott Pilgrim was an indie movie. It definitely wasn't.
Has the budget of an indie movie, doesn't it?
No,
Really?
it just bombed at the box office. I don't know. I guess the studio wasn't like. I don't know. Test screenings. I think test screenings were fine. It's just they didn't market the movie at all, and it just
That'll
came
do
and
it.
went, and no one saw it in theaters. But it made a crap ton of money through like DVD sales, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
And
I think it was
merchandise is
also,
still
like-
being sold and all that.
I remember hearing about that movie because it was like I think it was one of the first movies available on like Xbox Live or some shit like that.
I could see it.
Oh, it makes sense because there's video game references throughout the entire movie.
It doesn't. I think it starts with Zelda music, which must have been expensive because
No, there's a good story about that. Edgar Wright literally wrote a letter to Nintendo of Japan asking them if they can use Zelda's Lullaby in the movie, and he was like,
I thought it was the Great Fairies Fountain song.
I forget what it was. I thought it was Zelda's Lullaby, and he in the letter he flat out said that it was like the song of a generation. How like so many kids like grew up with it, and it's like I don't know. He praised the hell out of the soundtrack to Zelda, and he sent it to Nintendo of Japan just asking if they can use it. And apparently they were so I don't know, just what's
Touched?
the word? Yeah, I guess they were so touched by it that they just let him use it.
See, what really happened was Edgar Wright wrote a letter in English to Nintendo of Japan. They received it and went, "What?" But, well, actually they went, "Nani?" And then sent it back with a stamp that said something like, "Sure, whatever," in Japanese.
Sure, whatever. Yeah, I think that cost like nothing for them in the movie.
That's cool. I feel like it would cost a lot now. Nintendo is so protective of stuff like that.
Probably. I know.
Giggling at your own joke over there?
Yes.
I think for the 5th anniversary of that movie, Nintendo Power was still around, and they literally had a 2-page spread of just saying like top 10 best Nintendo references in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. And like the band in the movie is called The Clash at Demon Head, and that's actually named after a video game on the NES called Clash at Demon Head.
I thought you were gonna talk about the name of Scott's band.
It's called Sex Bob-omb. So
that's another one. Did Nintendo Power mention that?
Yeah. Nintendo Power talks about Emery
Sex?
games and all that. Yeah, they mention No More Heroes.
Hide my Nintendo Powers in between my mattress and my box.
There was a
spring so
Nintendo
that
Power
my
where the
mom
cover
can't
was
see the-
Mad World.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
There was one where they were like, they used 2 dragons, the 2 evil twin X's used 2 dragons, so that's obviously a reference to Double Dragon. And I'm like, probably wasn't, but whatever.
Yeah, that seems just like a
bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
I watched that at college with there was like one of my friends threw an event, and where like anyone at the college was allowed to come and watch Scott Pilgrim, and somebody thought that scene was a reference to Hanzo in Overwatch, and I was like, what? This is so much older than that.
What?
Bro.
What a... Okay,
when did they think
whatever.
that movie came out?
They probably didn't care when it came out. Like, I don't know. I just remember hearing that and being like, what? What?
This is one joke in the movie I loved where it was right at the beginning they were doing band practice. And there's the character Young Neil is just sitting on the couch.
This is the Tetris?
Next to Scott's soon-to-be ex-girlfriend Knives. And she's like all into like this band that she's about to hear. And she goes to him and she's just like, hey, do you play anything? And Young Neil's just like, let's see. Final Fantasy, Tetris. It's kind of a long list, actually. Also, the song they play during the opening credits is called Launchpad McQuack.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, that's all I had to say. I'm a huge fan, so I wanted to talk about it for a bit.
Mm.
Okay.
And I hope they bring the game back. All right.
Okay.
Who wants to go next?
Don't look at me.
Sheb?
It looks like the only people with topics today are you and me, Brian. So let's have a conversation.
I slept today.
I watched some movies in the last week, one of which was Clash of the Titans.
Oh, I was gonna say
I'll
we
get to that
watched
one.
one of
No,
them.
yeah.
All right.
Clash of the Titans from 1981, a movie with Ray Harryhausen's stop motion creations.
Wait, is that the first like Clash of the Titans movie? Like it's not a remake or anything?
What? Clash of the Titans, I don't remember what year it came out, but there's another one that's a remake.
I thought it was way older than the 80s, that's all.
No, you're thinking maybe of Jason
and
and
the
the
Argonauts.
Argonauts.
I know Jason
Yeah.
the Argonauts, and that's the same.
Because that's also
Same
Ray
special effects
Harryhausen.
guy.
Literally, whenever someone talks about Ray Harryhausen, the first movie I think of is Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that because I feel like the stop motion will be much more fitting there. Because in Clash of the Titans, I was like, this looks dated even for like a. It's not just that I am looking at it from a modern perspective. I feel like if I was sitting there in 81, I would have been like, this is a little dated.
Because Jason and the Argonauts was 70s, I'm pretty sure.
I would have guessed like
I thought it
60s or 50s.
I thought it was late 60s.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah, but
Also, like the stop motion Jason and the Argonauts, I remember like the thing everyone always brought up were the skeletons.
Yeah.
And it makes way more sense for skeletons to be very jerky and all that with stop motion than other kind of monsters and creatures and whatnot.
but there's a very similar fight scene to that skeleton scene in Clash of the Titans, and it's one of the best stop motion things just because the actors are interacting very convincingly with the stop motion creations. But that movie was okay.
All right. I was going to ask, like, do you recommend it? 'Cause I've never seen it.
I would recommend it. It's not like change your life movie, but it's cool to see.
It's a fun time.
It's a fine adaptation of the Greek myth of, oh my god, what the fuck was his name?
Titan.
Yes, Titan.
Clash.
Davy and
I
Goliath.
think Perseus.
Jesus.
What? Brian, what?
Titans, am I right? Yeah.
I said that.
What? No, he said David and Goliath.
Yeah.
That's why I said Jesus.
Yeah, the Titans, David and Goliath.
Larry the cucumber.
It's funny. I didn't say David and Goliath. I said Davy and Goliath.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Legally
The only
distinct.
reason I know any of these biblical figures is from fucking VeggieTales. Like,
How did I never
Pizza
watch any
Angel.
VeggieTales?
dude, I've watched so many VeggieTales. My grandmother had like a stack of maybe 40 DVDs, which they're like 40 minutes long, and there's only one on a DVD.
Dude, I'm gonna be totally honest. I only know VeggieTales because of like commercials and all that, and then later on we'd find clips on YouTube. I have no idea.
I would show you clips because I would
know.
remember them.
No, that's what I'm talking about. But I'm like, personally, as a kid, looking back, I have no idea how most kids even watched VeggieTales other than just buying the
DVDs,
VHSs
yeah.
and all that. Like, were they shown on a TV channel?
Yes.
But it was like not one you would expect. I don't remember what it was shown on.
How the hell did that thing become popular?
Buying the DVDs to show at Sunday school. That's what my
Yeah,
grandmother did.
because I only saw like 2 episodes of it and it was at school. But I'm still like amazed my parents or grandparents never had me like watch it at their houses. Considering I went to Catholic boys' school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Randon, Jesus. Ryan gets his hand
I
smacked
do the
with the
fusion
ruler.
dance with
Ruler if he
Brandon.
defies God. I mixed your name with the word hand.
Rand.
We went on this whole tangent on VeggieTales. We
I
were
wanna
talking
keep
about
talking-
movies
All
that
because
I
you
wanna-
fucking said Davy and Goliath.
I want to talk about
It's your
VeggieTales more because VeggieTales, honestly,
fuck
pretty good.
Chef's Week, I guess.
Yeah. Just that's Parker's thing for today, I guess.
Clash of the Veggies.
Clash of the Veggies.
Dude,
But,
they have an Indiana Jones parody called Minnesota Cuke. And also, when they got to that part, cuke as in cucumber.
It sounds like a slur, doesn't it?
No, Minnesota Cuke. Why is that the...
Indiana, Minnesota. And listen, but at that point, it's like, this is no longer a biblical story. Why are they doing this? Because they're supposed to be biblical stories. And then they were just like, okay, this time we're going to do Indiana Jones. And they started getting like weirder and weirder.
It's Indiana Jones, but God shows up for a minute.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Anyway,
Shabe?
watch Clash of the Titans if you're interested in Greek
VeggieTales.
mythology and stop motion effects. But the other movie I watched was Mad Max.
I watched that too.
Yes,
We
with
were all there. We can all talk about it.
Yeah.
It was mediocre.
It was.
Yeah, it was
it's
pretty
not
whatever.
really
It's not that
The
good.
first one. We're talking about the first one.
Yeah.
Because I've watched Fury Road before, and that movie's really good.
I have not watched that one,
I need
I'll
to
get
rewatch that one. So bad.
We'll probably just go through all of them.
but
I'd be down to go through all of them.
I know you would be.
Yeah, okay.
my
You wanted to watch all 3 of them the other night, which if we
I
had
was
time, I
like
would
half
have.
joking about it. I
Oh.
knew it was not going to happen.
Yeah, it was too late. Anyway,
my final verdict on Mad Max is it would be really a lot better if it took a half hour of time and it used that to embellish the revenge plot at the end, which just felt really rushed. And then you just took a bunch of stuff out from the like you can make the movie longer, but you got to cut a bunch of the stuff from the beginning out and just focus on the revenge
Except
plot.
the beginning car chase, because that was actually one of the coolest parts in the movie.
Yeah, that's fine. Set up like
also
the
impressive.
conflict
Like
and
those
then-
cars freaking get demolished. Like that is some old school fucking throw caution out the window. Let's just do
Let's
some
crash
cool
through the
stunts.
RV.
Yeah.
One guy, I'm pretty sure we all like reacted. Some guy, you can see the stunt double
He, hits
like
the
get
ground.
his
Yeah, he,
like
like-
head shit in.
What?
I literally, I regret saying that as I,
I
said
think
it.
you like
Should we
messed
just-
up the phrase "getting your shit kicked in."
Yeah.
So his head
on
shit
his
kicked
head.
in.
His head shit out of his brain.
Mad Max hands him a saw, and he's like, "I'm gonna shit in your head."
I'm gonna shit in your head.
Phasing.
It sounds like something Duke Nukem would say.
It's like if Duke Nukem forgot the first half of his fucking thing. He's just like, I'm gonna shit down your neck.
It's time to kick gum.
I'm here to shit ass.
You gotta turn everyone down. Okay.
I came to kick gum and chew ass. And I'm all out of gum.
Wait.
I'm all out of ass.
All right, but yeah,
I was gonna say my. So I was interested because I've always been told that because having only seen Fury Road, that the Mad Max movies, 2, 3, and Fury Road are all post-apocalyptic movies, which is there's tons of movies like that. But Mad Max, the first one, is the only movie I've ever heard described as like pre-apocalyptic, like it's like before society goes under.
it's more like dystopian because there's the weird police force that all wears leather jackets.
But that's
Yeah.
the thing, because like I always heard that and went, wow, that's interesting, and then I watched it and went, wow, it's not.
It isn't.
I was like
No.
the setting and the like. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like boring. Like I like
It doesn't.
is.
It doesn't do enough to set up the fact that it's pre-apocalyptic, which makes me also think maybe that wasn't ever the intention when the
If-
movie was
if you-
being made.
Well,
if you
with
told
all-
me it was just
here's
like
the-
backwoods, like desert town or something, I'd be like, yeah, okay, fine.
if I watched it when it came out, I'm sorry, Brian. If I watched it when it came out and then saw a trailer for the second one, I would have gone, what the fuck happened? Why are they in the apocalypse now?
Yeah,
Well, have you guys ever seen the movie The Warriors?
No.
no.
Okay,
No.
The Warriors is kind of takes place in a dystopian timeline where it's not apocalyptic, but there is gang violence everywhere, and there's literally like almost hundreds of gangs throughout the city, and they all wear the same outfits. Some of them are weird. Some of them like have clown makeup. Some of them have baseball uniforms. It's freaking weird.
Oh, I know what
Clown
this
Posse
movie
You say, are
is.
these One Piece villains?
Yeah, you know what it
Insane
is.
I know what it
Clown
is. I've never
Posse.
seen it, but I know what it is.
Yeah, so
How old is it?
I think it's also from the 70s.
Okay.
It's pretty old.
I own it on Blu-ray if anyone wants to watch it with me.
I'd be down.
I'll watch
Not
that,
talking
yeah.
to the audience, talking to you guys.
We're gonna
My-
Call
stream
my
it.
phone number at
We're gonna live stream watching the Warriors.
But watching Mad Max, it reminded me of that because The Warriors isn't post-apocalyptic, but it is dystopian in that there's so much gang violence that's like it's almost as if once you grow up, you kind of have to be in a gang just to survive.
Like- societal breakdown.
Yeah, and Mad Max is kind of like that, but in Australia in the desert, because there's a crap ton
Oh,
of gang
yeah, it's in
violence, and a lot of
Australia.
people just get away with it, and that's why we need these police officers and all this weird leather getup
Yeah.
doing all these car chases.
But holy moly, you understand that this is in Australia because it is so hard as an American to understand anybody in that movie.
I have like a hard time like making out dialogue that I hear in movies in general. Like I like if I'm watching movies by myself, I'll put subs on. Like I watched all the Rocky movies with subs on because I was like, I can't understand what he's saying.
Oh my god!
But-
I don't blame you for that one.
Well, Mad Max, I kind of wish I would have watched it with subs because I was like, it just sounds like I can't understand what they're saying.
I followed what was going on, but it was just because of like context clues. Sometimes I was like, I have no idea what that person just said.
I don't know
Yeah.
what happened
I-
to the dog in that movie. It just like ran away.
The
Yeah,
dog.
I think
I
I
don't
actually
even-
forgot about the dog.
They didn't like show the gang like taking it or killing it because I
Well,
thought
they-
it was going to lead into something because
Isn't
the
there,
dog
like-
ran away right before she gets kidnapped.
Oh, that dog. Yeah.
But-
Isn't there,
but it
like,
doesn't-
an animal carcass that she walks into in the woods.
It happens really fast, and I think that's what's supposed to happen.
That's
but
what that's
you-
supposed to
you
be?
can't
That's
even
what
see
I
it
thought
is.
happened when I
I didn't
watched
even
it.
think
Yeah,
of
'cause
that.
she like gets to a part and then like freaks out looking at like the forest, and I didn't see the.
No, I saw the
carcass.
carcass. I didn't think it was supposed to be the dog.
Oh.
I just thought it was supposed to be some like trap for an animal. It reminded me of that
Because
thing.
you're too focused on the Star Wars.
Yeah, because it
parallel.
looks like that thing that Chewie tries to eat on Endor, and he's like, "You gotta stop thinking with your stomach," or whatever Han Solo says.
Yeah, that movie's middle is not good.
The end is really fast because when
Yeah, that's the problem. It should be like 1/3 setting up the world and everything, and making it more clear that this is like more fucked,
yeah,
and then the middle third should be like the gang doing more stuff, and then eventually like the thing happening that he wants to get revenge for, and then the last third should be him actually getting revenge. But no, it's like 15 minutes at the beginning. It's like mostly build up.
They have to
And
set
then-
up Goose and then kill him off.
I would have liked Goose more if I could understand what anyone was saying.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
Like, did he do anything?
He existed.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
He
was
got
like-
mad.
like-
He got mad at the one guy because they let him go. And
He took
that
place
was it.
in the. He took part in the car chase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even several of them. I
Crashed.
forget.
Okay, let's see.
He
if
also
we-
went to investigate the car with
Yeah.
Max.
Here's a scene that I thought about a lot because I was like, I didn't understand what's happening at the time, and then it never made any sense later. Where Max is
Yes, he was.
First name Mad, last name Max.
where he goes to like that car. Like, he's like fairly into the beginning. He goes to that like garage, and they're showing him this like new really fast engine. He's like, I can't wait to take it out for a ride. And they zoom like out, and he's being watched through a window by the police chief and this other guy who I don't know if he ever shows up again. And they say some weird vague things that I had no idea what they were talking about.
I understand
And then
what
the
it
other guy leaves and puts on like a gladiator helmet or some shit and walks away.
He put on a fucking
It's a
fencing outfit.
Yeah, why?
Because he was fencing.
Did he say that?
No, it's
No.
implied by the fact that he's wearing a fencing suit.
Yeah, I think they were trying to imply that he was also like
rich.
he had more money than others.
He
so
got
he could
like the
take
mayor or
part
The
in-
something.
implication was that he got pulled away from his like fencing practice to try and bait Max into staying in the police force.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he was like the mayor of the
When
town.
they, I could not
like that.
understand their dialogue to the point where I thought they were watching Max and they were going to try and arrest him because he was buying an illegal engine. That's what I thought happened in that
That
scene.
is not what happened.
because I
No.
couldn't understand any of the words they were saying.
Wow.
Do you want to know a fun fact about the movie?
Huh.
Guess what the budget was?
4
Mad Max
No,
$4.
no,
No,
just
four
guess.
Australian dollars.
in 1979.
They're very large.
Less than a quarter of Happy Feet's budget.
What's Happy Feet's
Please
budget?
tell me what the budget of Happy Feet was,
I
partner.
don't know.
Then why'd you say it?
Well,
Because he
obviously
directed
you're
Happy
Googling
Feet.
it right now. What's the?
What's the budget for Happy Feet?
Let's look that up. Happy.
I got the
Feet.
budget for Mad Max.
I'm looking it up.
Alright.
I'm looking it up. I got 100 million.
100 million. What? So a quarter of that is 25 million.
You were gonna
25,000 million. No wait.
25,000.
Did I just actually give the right number and then mess up myself?
Yeah, you did. You said a number that doesn't exist.
You were like 25 million. No, 25,000 million.
Brian's like,
$25 trillion for Happy
All right.
or for Mad Max.
I can tell you
Car
right
chase was
now.
expensive.
Brian's like counting using like the Japanese numeric system, like 1,000 million.
Anyway, what's the
What?
Mad
How
Max?
much is it, Brian?
God, you weren't even close.
How much is it?
It's
4.
$350,000.
I
Oh,
said
God.
less than 25,000. I was correct.
That
That's
ain't a lot of
wasn't
money.
even
You know what?
close.
I was correct though.
That I should go back in and change the movie's rating to 5 stars because they were working off of that much budget.
Yeah.
I've also read some other stuff where it's like they had to ride to set wearing, like, the biker gangs. They had to go to set in costume while also with their weapons out, and they just apparently the only thing protecting them was a letter from the producers in case they got pulled over by cops, that to just give to the cops saying, "Hey, we're working on a movie. Please let these guys slide." That was like the only thing protecting them.
But like, so
Also, most of the extras were paid in beer.
cool. The end of that movie, we're sitting there watching it, and it comes to a point where the focus man from the revenge quest, like he's the focal point of it, is like there, and he goes, "You're mad, Mad Max," and I was like, "Oh," and I was the only one that heard this because everyone else in the room was talking.
Yeah.
But I go and I try to like rewind the movie, and I see how far into the movie we are, and I'm like, what? This is the end of the movie? It just felt so sudden. There was no build up to the end. It just, he runs over the biker gang and then like sees the man and gives him an axe. Not an axe, a saw.
And then he
Max,
shoots it in his
Not
head.
a max.
That line was the best part of the movie. He hands him.
Yeah,
What,
that
what,
is the best
he
part of the
handcuffs
movie.
him to a car that's gonna like blow up in flames, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he hands him a saw, and he's like, "That car's gonna blow up in like,
10 minutes.
You got,
10 minutes."
it'll take 10
10
minutes to
minutes
saw through the handcuff, but if you're lucky, you can saw through your leg in 5.
That
You're
that,
mad, Max.
that
Crikey.
line is enough for me to give it 3 stars on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Also, the beginning car chase. I'll say the very beginning and the very end of the movie are really good, and the middle is when it gets kind of.
I gave it a 2.5.
Yeah.
Wait,
Are you-
what do I give it on the little man scale?
What?
What?
I showed you guys the little man scale, right?
What?
It was, I know you commented on it, Brian.
I think I remember this.
It was a scale that some like movie review paper used,
Yeah, I remember this.
I read this and forget.
and
Oh.
it's the little man. It's basically just a 5-star scale with no half
Yeah.
stars.
I
But it's 5 is the little man is like applauding and hollering and standing up from his seat. 4 is he's
Watching attentively, right?
watching
Like,
No. He's applauding, but
Oh.
not like
but
crazy.
sitting down.
He's sitting down and applauding. 3 is he's watching attentively. 2 is he's not there, and 1 is he's asleep.
Not there, as in like he's just kind of like physically not there.
Physically not there. There's a little drawing, and the seat is empty.
I
How
thought
is
he
that
was like,
worse than-
yeah, wait, no,
or how
I
is that
thought
not
I thought
worse
he
Two
than
and
was
one's the
honestly?
same.
I thought he was sitting there, but he was just like leaning back. Like,
You know, maybe I did reverse.
yeah,
the 1
because
and
I
2.
think the point of
No,
three-
he's asleep though. In
1, and I think in
no,
2.
he's asleep in 2, gone in 1.
Oh, you
not
mixed
there.
them up.
He-
Okay.
Asleep in his chair, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, then that makes more sense.
that does
Yeah.
make more sense.
He's asleep in bed.
I'd give it a sitting and watching the movie.
So that's a 3.
Yes, because I gave it a 3. That's what I said.
I'd agree with you, like 2.5.
Are
Half
you still
stars are
interested
for-
in seeing the sequels though?
Oh yeah,
Stinky.
I just wasn't crazy about Mad Max 1979.
Yeah. All right. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch both Thunderdome because I haven't seen it, and to rewatch Fury Road just because Fury Road's an amazing movie. And I also only saw Road Warrior once, but I can tell you right now, Road Warrior is definitely better than the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Does somebody go, "You're the road warrior" at the end?
Yes.
And
You're
at the end
Mad
of the
Max.
third,
I don't-
at
I
the end of
actually
the
don't
third
remember.
one, does he
Thunderdome.
go, "You're beyond the Thunderdome now"? And at the end of the fourth one, he says, "Fury Road."
You're Mad Max Fury
They do say
Road.
Fury Road a bunch in
No, but at the end,
movie.
somebody looks at him and says, "Mad Max."
You're the Fury, Road.
No, he
You're
just says the title
Fury
of the
Road.
film. You know that part in the end of The Last of Us where Ellie says, "Wow, Joel, we really are the Last of Us."
Maybe one day a devil may cry.
You are the god of war.
Master Chief
Wow.
looks at the camera and says, "Halo."
Combat Evolved Anniversary.
Wow, Tails, Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Luigi puts his hand on Mario's shoulder and says, "New Super Luigi U."
I guess since Ryan and Parker don't have anything.
I did think of one thing I can bring up quick.
I was talking about VeggieTales, so I'm good.
I played a couple matches at Fall Guys yesterday.
Oh yeah, Fall Guys.
Yeah, I was at work.
Barely. No, like,
I said I was at work.
oh, I thought you said
It
how
sounded
does
like
that
you
work?
said,
I
how does that
totally
work?
get that
Yeah,
it sounded different, though. I don't blame you.
Yeah, so the actual game itself is pretty fun. It's just like a fun little, like, not party game, but it's like Mario Party mini games, but like a battle royale.
I really want to play it.
It's cool.
I want to play it.
Maybe we should play it later. Anyway, yeah, like half of the levels are like stages that you play on with other people are just
Maps.
you and like 60 some other people just trying to get to the goal of whatever map it is. And they all have different like themes and different traps and stuff that you have to get past. And the other ones are like you're in like 4 different teams and you have to like infect each other or something. And the team that has the like least infected people at the end of the timer like wins. It'll be something like that. And it's or just like survive. There's one that's like there's like a 15-second timer. And as the timer's going down, you have to look at a bunch of blocks you're walking on, and as the timer's going down, the blocks flash different fruits on them, and then you have to, when the timer's out, on the screen the timer's on, it changes to one of the fruits, so you have to quickly run to where you memorized that fruit is on the map, and like, whoever's not just falls and dies.
I saw on Twitter today. I guess it had something to do with somebody streaming Fall Guys, but I didn't really get much context because I saw that he finally did it was trending on Twitter, and I clicked on it, and the first tweet and I scrolled down and saw a little bit of a video, gave me all the context I needed because somebody wrote like I saw that he finally did it was trending on Twitter only to see that it was about some game where a hot dog steps on a bunch of hexagons, and I scrolled down and saw a little gameplay and went, okay.
Yeah.
Until I saw Fall Guys gameplay, I thought the whole game was just like you're a little man in like an inverted cone and you're trying not to fall into the middle of the cone and like drop out of the sky.
Yeah.
I thought that was the whole game.
I thought it was just running and jumping over stuff. Like I thought it was like platformer gang beasts.
Yeah, I thought it was all obstacle
Yeah.
courses, but the obstacle courses all had a different gimmick.
That's most of it. That's like half of the game.
See, I still think that would be fun because it's all.
It is really fun,
It's supposed to be
yeah.
like a battle royale where there's like what 60 other people.
Yeah,
Or-
so the way like rounds or like a whole match works is there are 5 rounds, and you know what?
as we all put our hands up.
Yeah.
5.
So it starts with like 64 players at the beginning, and then it eliminates 20 some in the first round, and then as the rounds go on, it eliminates more and more until there's like 13, 14 players left in the last round, and then it's one last like mad dash to get to a crown, and the first person to touch a crown wins.
One last Mad Max to the crown.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I don't know, but it looks fun. I do want to play it.
Let's just all play it tonight.
Maybe.
I'm going
Have fun,
somewhere
guys.
tonight.
Oh yeah, you're
This
going.
isn't for the podcast. I shouldn't talk about it. Anyway,
You shouldn't talk about the funeral you're going to tonight.
it's personal. Stop. Is all you have to say about Fall Guys?
I have to say that, and I don't think anyone's surprised or doesn't know, but the like connection issues are garbage.
I mean, it's an indie dev making a huge multiplayer game. So,
Yeah,
like,
but it was still. Oh, it's not just the connection. Actually, there was another thing that really pissed me off, but the connection is bad. The menus just don't work sometimes.
What?
I'm not kidding. Fuck.
Stop. Our
sorry.
friend.
More Halo
friend.
grunt noises.
Our friend Jordy LaForge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep that in.
I was playing with our one friend, and we just, like, every other time we got into a game, after the game was done, it would just, like, kick him out of the party. And then we had other issues, like, with the menus themselves, where it would take me pressing a button, like, 5 times for it to actually register. Like, especially, like, once you like, lose in one round, if you don't want to wait for all the other rounds to go. Like, you know, in, like, a regular battle royale, like, you don't usually wait until see who wins. Like,
You can
nobody
opt
cares.
out.
Yeah. Sometimes pressing circle to, like, leave just doesn't work, and it forces you to watch the entire next round.
Close the game.
Yeah. Like, that's your only option, and it sucks. And I don't know. It's just, like, that's the one part that's really clunky, and I don't like, and I want them to fix. Also, like, if you lose in a round and then don't opt out, well, sometimes it won't work and won't let you opt out. But if you don't opt out before the round is over, it makes you sit through the entire, like, showing who got knocked out screen, and then makes you wait until the timer counts down to start the next match. And there's no way to even press start and exit or anything after that. And it's like, oh my god. Like, I don't understand why it's like that, but, like, I don't know why that would have anything to do with the server problems. Like, it's literally just menus not working. It's bizarre.
It's still available for free to PlayStation Plus owners, right?
Yeah.
Get on that.
It's one of the games
PlayStation
of this
Plus
month.
people.
I think it's just all this month because I think it's the August game.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know when the next thing
Not in the middle
happens.
of August.
You can also play Modern Warfare 2 Remastered.
Wow, I forgot that came out, and I have it because of PS Plus.
I'm gonna mark it. Do you have more?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I come prepared.
I'm unpausing in 3, 2, 1. All right. So, is that it for Fall Guys? We're done.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next? It's gonna be me or Chef because we're like the only ones that.
You go, Brian.
Okay. Well, I played this new game called Risk of Rain 2.
It's not new.
Yeah, but I got an update.
Oh.
The 2.0 update, and that's new.
And it's new to him.
It's also new. I actually
Everything is relative.
I have heard the name Risk of Rain, whether it's 1 or 2, for like so long, and not have seen anything about the game.
I just know that
And
the
no-
first one's 2D and the second one's 3D.
I didn't even know that. But through the generosity of one of our friends, I was given a copy of Risk of Rain 2.
Say their name.
No.
Make give you more edits to make.
No,
Grief
please,
them.
stop. Okay. But anyway, I was given a copy right when they came out with the 2.0 update. Who here has played Risk of Rain?
I played 2 for like a couple hours, and then other stuff came out and I dropped it. But yeah.
I've seen gameplay and went, I don't think this is a Parker game.
Chef, have you played it?
No.
All right.
I still don't even know what the goal of the game is.
It's just a roguelike.
It's a roguelike.
Thanks. I've heard that so many times. I still don't know what it is.
Roguelike?
Well, I'm just saying what the goal is just to, like, get to the ladder
Ryan,
level.
Is
Like,
it,
Okay,
is
yeah,
it
just-
endless, or is there a goal? Like, is there
I'm
a final
pretty sure
boss?
there is like a final boss that you can beat. Like 90.
Okay.
Because I
It's
saw an
strange.
achievement on one of our other friends' profiles that said, like, beat the game doing blah 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 blah. So
Okay. Well, let me just give you a very basic rundown of what Risk of Rain 2's gameplay is like. So it's a third person shooter where you know how other roguelikes, like, I'm thinking of like Enter the Gungeon or Binding of Isaac. It's like you have like a floor that's procedurally generated, and you go from room to room, and you have to defeat all the enemies in a room. Each level is procedurally generated, but there's no rooms. It's just one big, like, arena.
is it procedurally generated? I don't remember them being procedurally generated. I thought it
I
was
thought
just the same.
That's what I
thing.
was told.
Doesn't it have to be a roguelike?
No.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's not procedurally generated.
Not
I thought
necessarily.
roguelike
although
implied
the
procedural generation.
type of levels, like the environments, are random though. They're not the same.
Wait. If it's not
Okay.
procedurally generated, then what is a roguelike?
A roguelike
It's
is
just
a roguelike.
yeah. Roguelike is just going through and like dying whenever you like going back to
You
the
also-
beginning every time you die.
You also can
That's
get
roguelike.
that
you
is
can
what
power
that
yourself up
Yeah.
every run.
I thought I thought it was that plus the procedural generation. I thought that
No, it
was
could be
what.
randomly generated.
No, every
Yeah.
run should be
I see
different
what
in
you
a
mean.
rogue, like, but it doesn't have to be level based. It can just be what power ups and upgrades you get every run.
This
Yeah,
is the we talk about the corner of gaming that I have had no experience with.
But anyway,
Mage.
anyway, as
Play
I was saying,
Isaac.
instead of going like room to room, it's just one big open environment, and you just have to find the portal to go to the next environment. And the longer you stay, the more time you spend playing the game, the higher the difficulty goes up. And there's like a little meter that'll go from like easy, medium, hard, very hard, fucking balls and shit keeps going. And you can either you get money every time you defeat any enemy, and you can use it to either open chests, no, it's there for opening chests. I don't know if you use money for anything else.
It's been too long. I don't remember.
It's been too long.
Since I played it, I don't
Really?
remember.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I played it like years ago at this point, I think.
Really?
At least like a year and a half
Oh,
ago.
I didn't know that.
When did you think I played it last? I don't know.
I thought you were playing it like last week when the 2.0 update came out.
I re-downloaded it, but I never ended up playing it.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, and then once you find the portal, then a huge boss comes up, whether it's like a fire magma worm or a giant colossus type rock fucking thing.
Rockefeller.
Rockfeller.
Rock lobster.
And yeah, and then you can unlock different characters that all have different movesets, kind of like Enter the Gungeon and Binding of Isaac. I don't know, does every roguelike do that? Where you can just play as different characters?
Well, Hades doesn't have different characters, but it has the
Oh.
different weapons, which is like basically the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
in Isaac, it's like, yeah, you just have to start out with,
every
like, different
character has a
abilities.
different primary fire / gun, and also completely different abilities. But I think also stats, like some are faster than others, some jump higher than others, and all that. Rate of fire is different, how much damage they do.
I know one just like has a sword, don't they?
I didn't know that. I didn't unlock them.
It's just like Virgil, basically.
Like the default is the most generic. Like, I'm a third-person shooter, man. I shoot. I have a rapid fire shoot, and I have a rocket shoot, and that's it. Then you have,
I scoot.
but most importantly,
Shoot.
I boop.
I shoot. Hey, it's my
Anyway.
knees.
There's another character that when you fire, it's a bow and arrow character, and they just automatically target. Like, you don't even have to aim, but you still have to target for like their abilities and all that. And you can also shoot while sprinting, which I think is like the biggest, like, it's like how you should be using the character. You should be always moving or whatever. There's another one that's all grapple hook based. So there are times
Is
where
that the
like,
one that you like to play as?
see, I tried it, but he's also melee based. Like, he doesn't use a gun. So it's just, you use a grapple hook, you use it on a gigantic monster, and you're just constantly swirling around
that's
this
just-
monster
that's
with a
just-
grapple hook, and he's just literally like punching, just waving his arms around, doing damage as you're just swinging around this monster.
Based on my limited knowledge, that's what I think Attack on Titan is.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Oh my god.
That is pretty much exactly what Attack on Titan is, yeah.
Yeah,
Until like a couple episodes in.
I played it, and it was fun. It got, I don't know what the 2.0 update
It's
brought
just
in.
not early access anymore. It's gonna be the same thing. I imagine it's like
That would be
maybe another
1.0.
Yeah, that would be 1.0.
This is a 2.0.
That's
update.
what happened. It just came out of early access, I thought.
Wouldn't the 1.0
Because I was
be-
questioning when he said 1.0 earlier, but I thought, oh, maybe because it's Risk of Rain 2, they're just calling it 2.0.
No, it's Risk of Rain 2 2.0 update.
Yeah, I thought this was what was getting it out of early access.
Who knows?
Brian's looking it up.
I
I'm, like,
gotta
not
look it up because
sure.
I don't want to give wrong information on our podcast.
Time for
I'm
the
sure we're
intermission
7
show.
episodes in. I'm sure we've already given several pieces of wrong information.
Absolutely.
I can give
Yeah.
more wrong information if you would like.
Just come up
What do you
with
want to say,
bullshit.
Chef?
The color of the Squunglepuss is in fact not teal. It is lavender, just like James's hair.
In Pokemon.
Yo, what
Oh
the
my
fuck? I had no idea what
The
was going.
Whiskernugan goes in the Whiskernugan drawer.
What are you quoting?
Well, that one was from Chowder.
Uh,
What do you see here? A Chictopus. Chowder, why do you keep saying that? It's not as funny without the visual because there's a Chictopus next to Mung Da, which sticks its tentacle. Keep looking up the thing. The only reason I'm doing
No,
this.
I'm letting you talk, and I'm looking at your levels to make sure your volume is fine.
Just keep.
He's
looking the
stalling
thing
so you have time to look
but
something
the
up.
whole purpose of my
Yeah,
thing
but you
here-
keep changing your volume. I gotta make sure I'm doing my
up.
job.
Oh my
Ah!
God. That's what you get. Keep looking it up.
Okay, the Skills 2.0 update introduced challenges, which unlock new skills and skins for survivors. And each survivor has 2 to 4 challenges, and each challenge unlocks a skill, augment, or an alternative skin.
Okay, maybe the 1.0 is when I got it. Maybe I got it when it got out of early access, but I was under the impression
It came
that-
out like, didn't it come out like 2017 or some shit like that?
I don't know. For some reason, I thought this was when it was coming out of early access. Okay, I guess I was wrong then. Hades is coming out of early access, which is cool.
Woo!
That's
Hades,
nice.
good
I
game.
still don't have that game.
Buy it. It's much better than Risk of Rain 2.
Wow.
I'm
Thoughts shired.
yeah. I'd,
Thoughts
s-
Shired?
I
Yeah, something.
I'd go out of my way and say that Hades is probably the best roguelike.
Is Hades
Like a
co-op?
No.
No?
The only roguelike co-ops I know
Yes.
of are Gungeon
Risk of
and
Rain?
Risk of Rain and Isaac.
I
Kind of.
probably should have mentioned that the Risk of Rain's like whole appeal is that it's co-op, and you can strategize like what characters people will choose and all that.
Yeah.
And you can use their abilities together. You can whatever.
Goose Game is going to be co-op now.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of games
Yeah.
getting co-op because isn't Ghost of Tsushima also getting co-op?
Yeah,
It's getting
I was
like a
gonna
new-
talk about that. Usually,
Well, what is
usually
with
Ghost
this-
of Tsushima
It's
so we can
it's
play
not just
co-op
it's
together.
not just that it's like it's not getting co-op to the main game, right? They're
No,
like
it's
adding a new thing.
I didn't realize what it was at first, but it's getting a new 2-player story expansion thing.
Oh, it's only 2.
Well, that's for the story expansion part.
Oh.
And then there's going to be a 4-player other thing that exists.
Dude, there's a lot of games coming out with just co-op updates.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're done talking about Risk of Rain 2.
Do 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 do.
Wait, Chef, did you have anything else to talk about?
I do.
Then you go next.
I don't want to go next, Brian. I don't want to be last today.
Oh, is it your last thing?
What?
Is it your last thing you're gonna talk
Well, I
about?
can talk about 2 things if
He's
you
gonna-
want. But
Well, then why don't we do one of yours, then
Shut
his
up!
last
Shut up!
thing?
Shut up! Because I wasn't going to talk about this one. It's just that I don't.
Just steal what
I
Brian
don't
was
remember
gonna
if
say.
That'd be so funny. Don't
Oh
do
my
that
God.
though.
I don't remember if I talked about watching Rush Beyond the Lighted Stage last week.
Oh, is that a
Definitely
concert
doesn't know.
movie?
It's a documentary.
Okay, all right.
About
At
Rush.
first, I was like,
About
"That's
Rush.
such a complicated name," and then I realized, no, wait, you're a Rush fan of the band, so that's probably a
Yes.
movie about the band.
Yes, it's about the band, and I watched it last week, the week before.
Mhm.
Have I always watched it? Do it now? Brain,
Whoa,
speak, my
your brain
child.
got really smooth there.
smoothed brain.
Smooth in real time.
But it was. I assume it was probably like a pretty standard rockumentary, just like quick Wikipedia article search will get you just as much information, but the whole appeal is, look, it's interviews with them and they play the music play. And after watching that documentary, I have been listening to Rush like nonstop lately because they're very good. And listener, I recommend Rush to you to listen to. As I have done many times with these 3 men in the room, I recommend the album Exit Stage Left.
I don't think
Yeah, I
you ever
listened to
told
that
me
one.
about that.
I haven't listened to it yet, but
You
that's
were in the room
because
when I told them.
That doesn't mean anything.
wow.
Yeah, because you don't listen to other people but your...
That's not
Oh,
true. That's not true.
shit.
That's
Parker
not
likes
true.
to hear himself talk, and that's it.
That's Brian.
I was
Don't
gonna say-
deflect this onto him, you bitch.
Shut
Yeah.
up. No. I do remember you
Oh,
talking
here we
about
go.
that.
He's about to start talking and not stop.
You look so dejected over there. I'm sorry.
Eat my ass. Just keep saying whatever you're talking about.
I forgot.
Yeah, fuck you.
You made me forget.
All right, I have a topic I want to talk about.
Don't steal this topic.
Oculus Rift.
I have a topic to talk about. So Facebook decided that Oculus needed Facebook, so now Facebook is an Oculus.
What? Facebook already owned Oculus, but
yeah,
now
Facebook is now in Oculus.
Foculus in the Rift.
stop.
Oh my
Achbook.
god, we're really tired, aren't we?
Specken the Deutsch.
Achbook faceless.
So I stole Brian's topic. What Brian wanted to talk about is how Oculus Rift now you can't even what is it? You can't even turn it on before like
Get
if
over
you
this
do,
guy.
they'll just say
Well,
please
you
sign into Facebook.
have an Oculus Rift
What are you
profile
talking
because you should be buying stuff from the Oculus store. You can use Steam, but when Oculus Rift first came out, there wasn't any Steam integration. Or if there was, it was like very awkward and weird because Steam was like purely Vive when it first introduced VR. But basically, you do need an Oculus account though for like to play games and all that crap. But now instead of having an independent Oculus account, now they're making it so your Oculus account is just going to be your Facebook account. And people apparently have until September something to complete integrate their entire Oculus Rift profile onto a Facebook.
This is
profile.
all just because the Zuck wants your sweet, sweet data.
Yeah, it's also not September. It's like 2 years.
Wait, say that again?
It's like 2 years until you need the
Oh,
Facebook stuff.
okay.
They're gonna find a way.
Which is, I mean, it's bad no matter what, but at least it's like a couple years.
Yeah.
you know?
They're gonna find a way to like get a 3D scan of your face from this and use that somehow.
Of what, like
Yeah.
From the
Your
cheeks
nose?
up.
It doesn't
Your
matter. Listen, it doesn't matter. They will
Your
take any
retinal
data
scan.
they can get and find a way to use it somehow.
They feed it right
But
into Zuck's
They're
brain.
going to your Facebook is going to get ads for masks that are perfectly shaped to like your eye.
Why
and
would you
nose.
buy a mask?
But remember, kids, Facebook is an American company, so it's perfectly fine to sell your data to them.
Mark Zuckerberg likes Sweet Baby Ray's.
What?
Remember,
Making him very
kids.
much. You ever saw that video?
No,
It's him in his
I need-
backyard. He's like, we're in my backyard eating Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
No, they're not eating Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. He's barbecuing, and he's talking
I
about
know.
applying Sweet Baby Ray's.
Have you seen the picture of him on the jet ski
With the
Yes.
where he's
fucking
got like
sunscreen?
sunscreen, so much sunscreen?
He's
on
wearing
his
white
face.
face.
He's wearing white face, and then the way he's like,
He just always looks unnatural.
well, the
in
way he's
photos.
positioned, he's got like his butt sticking out, and like,
Popping his ass out.
Has anyone here seen The Social Network?
I want to.
It's a really good movie.
You know,
Damn, I wanted to talk about it, but if no one else has seen it, I don't want to spend time on it.
Zuckerberg stole Facebook from the blondes.
Basically. I mean, it's more complicated than that, I guess. I don't know.
Everything is always more complicated.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chef, you had one other fucking thing you wanted to talk about?
Yes, I did. But you know what? No.
Oh, wait. You were talking about Rush earlier.
I was.
And
And then we
And
immediately...
then he ruined it.
No, I didn't ruin it. You ruined it by bringing up your fake topic, which was originally Brian's topic.
But
Rush?
I was going to ask, like, have you seen any other, like, concert movies or rock and roll documentaries?
I watched Walk the Line.
I love Walk
That's
the
a
Line. though.
biopic.
I know.
Yeah,
but
that's a
it's-
biopic.
I don't
I've
got
watched Straight
anything.
Outta Compton. Does that count?
I love Walk the Line, though. Anyway.
I've watched like a ton of them because my dad used to put them on.
Have you seen the one for AC/DC?
Probably.
I
Dude,
forget
it's
what it
been
was
years.
called. But I remember my
Peoples.
dad had it when I was younger, and on the front of the box had Angus Young with like devil horns, but they were like realistic looking devil horns. And I was like, oh fuck that, that's scary. And I was like, this is like the devil's shit. I don't want to watch it.
The devil's shit. The devil's like, I'm
And
gonna
like my
shit in your
my
head.
dad and my uncle would be watching it like hyped up because they love AC/DC, and I'd be like, oh, they're watching something horrible. But it's just rock music. It's just a concert going on. But as I like grew up, I was like, yo, this concert's sick. This is the best. AC/DC concerts are freaking amazing.
I'm
Holy
glad I got to
shit.
see them once in person.
Dude, I can't. I hope like one more tour, because I don't see them going on tour again because they're freaking old and
yeah,
Malcolm's
like
dead.
Malcolm.
And,
Yeah, I was gonna say Malcolm's dead.
and
Isn't
Brian
Hank-
Johnson's hearing is like kaput. But
You don't need hearing to sing. Couldn't Beethoven play piano?
True.
But
That's true.
still, but I do hope they go on like just one more tour, and I'm gonna like make sure, I don't care how expensive those tickets are, I will go see them, no matter
Yeah.
what. Even if it's like in another state and we have to drive far off, I'm getting 2 tickets for me and my dad. We're fucking going.
That's how I feel if Stevie Wonder ever performs anywhere nearby again. I'm like, I want to see him.
I had, after watching Beyond the Lighted Stage, I was like, man, I wish I could see Rush, but you know, they
Oh.
disbanded in 2012, and then one of the members died last year. So, or was it this year?
Was it the guy that like rode his motorcycle all around?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
I remember seeing that on one of those. Because the
Uh,
one guy's just
what
like
does
a
that mean?
motorcyclist and like drove around.
Yeah,
like,
he
the
was
entire US.
he did
Drummer,
long
isn't it?
distance motorcycle riding.
Yeah. Huh.
The drummer, yeah.
Yeah.
But Frank Zappa made some like weird movies with his music in them. They're not like concerts though. There's like a stop motion one, and I don't know,
Oh, dude,
probably pretty
totally
violent.
making me want to watch
Yeah, that
this.
sounds cool.
Yeah, I want to watch it too.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that's Rush.
Yo, if you ever listen to Pink Floyd, because I know you said you were interested, it's just you never actually took the time to
I want
like.
to watch
Yeah.
The Wall.
Watch Nostalgia Critic's review of
No.
Should
I was gonna talk about The Wall, but not Pink Floyd The Wall, the movie. That was
You're gonna talk about someone else's The Wall, the game.
No, I was gonna talk about the concert film Roger Waters' The Wall, because Pink Floyd, the whole Wall album was a touring concert that Pink Floyd would do, where they built a physical wall throughout the concert. Where halfway through the album, there's just a gigantic wall, and no one got to see the band anymore. But they were still playing music, but to continue the concert, they would project animated music videos onto the wall that were also seen in the movie. And Roger Waters, years and years and years after the band broke up, he retoured with The Wall with just him, not the rest of Pink Floyd. But he turned it into a concert film, so you got to see a much higher quality version of what The Wall concert is supposed to look like, and how and he uses sets and props too. Like they had like a plane like drive like overhead like during the beginning of the concert. He would be dressed up in his little, I don't know what to call it. It's a parody of Nazis. I don't know what to call it, but a little uniform, because that's what the character in the Wall album is like. There was one song where he's in his living room watching TV and he's talking about it, and they actually have a set of a living room. But as the wall is being built on the stage, like parts of the stage will be hidden, and then they'll just give you just enough room to see certain sets, and then when the song's over, they would close off that set and build the wall. Mm-hmm. And during you know the song "Comfortably Numb," right? Oh, you don't?
No.
I know, it's one of my favorite Pink
You'd
Floyd
probably
songs.
recognize it.
I probably would.
Yeah,
but
it
I
is a
don't, like,
big.
I don't
radio
think
song.
I don't think the part where they say the name sticks out that much in that song, because
Oh,
when
really? That's the part that sticks out to me. It's like,
I don't know, because when I like finally listened to it, I was like, oh, this plays at work all the time. But I just recognized like an earlier part of the song.
It's the best song on the album. But during that part, the wall's already totally built. But during the guitar solo, and it's sung by 2 different people. When the other guy sings, there's a spotlight, and he's like standing on top of the wall as he's doing like his guitar solo and singing his part, and usually the crowd goes nuts. That's a good concert film that I recommend. And it's like, it's half just the concert, half like he'll add scenes that he actually shot almost like a movie. Like the beginning part has just a solo trumpet part that is very like kind of like a melancholy little melody, and he actually performs it at like a graveyard that's supposed to represent like where his dad died, and that's where he's like playing the trumpet, and then they transition to the actual concert. So it's a really good concert film. I recommend it after you listen to the actual album, and the album's amazing, and Pink Floyd's amazing.
Whenever people bring up concert films, I think about how when I was little, I had a VHS tape of recorded version of Bob the Builder live. They sang Bob the Builder parodies of famous songs. I remember because I think that's the first time I heard Mambo Number 5.
Oh my god.
What is the Bobo?
But they were singing about building, so I think they were like
Buildo number 5.
I think they were just I don't remember
Building
the
number
lyrics.
5.
I don't remember the lyrics, but it was something that was just like a little bit of hammering or whatever, and then it's like going through the steps of however they were building the shit.
Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder's also how I learned who Elton John was, because he's in the Christmas special.
Can you believe Bob the Builder's still going on?
It looks different too.
It's
Yeah,
horrible.
I'm sure
It's CGI and it's disgusting.
Disgusting, cheap kids show
It's because,
CGI. I
like,
imagine.
The
'cause
stop
they
motion
didn't
was
wanna
so
be-
charming. God damn it.
Kids
but
don't
it's
care.
expensive, and
But when they dug into the dirt, everyone thought it looked like chocolate cake.
Is that really what happened?
No, I thought that, and other
You
people
did.
did too.
Parker saw that when looks like
Looks like
cake,
chocolate
went
cake with
outside,
green
dug up
icing.
some dirt, and
No.
Parker
Other
eats
people have
dirt.
said this.
Parker's
Parker
mom
eats
looked out
dirt.
the window and shook her head.
No.
Is it bad that when I eat dirt, my arm turns red and shakes violently?
What is that from? What are you talking about?
It's just like a Yahoo Answers page that I know.
You're making a joke about the girl in The Last of Us 2, and I was like,
Oh yeah,
what?
where she almost gets gangrene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh,
why it's
her
called
arm turns
gangrene.
bright
Her
red.
arm
I don't know
turned
if you
red,
saw
not
that part.
green.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know.
It was like bright red, shiny red
Mhm.
even. Although
Like
it
a
could have been just
tomato.
red, wet from the rain. That's
When
why
I
it was shiny.
when I first saw it, I was like, why are they not wiping the blood off her arm?
Her arm
Oh my
just
God.
caked in bright red blood.
That's also
God.
disturbing though. But oh my god, that's like one of the most like cringy moments in the whole game. More so than the shotgun to the shin.
I think.
Oh, spoilers!
I
Shit.
think the cringiest moment was the when it stopped being good.
Cringiest moment was when Ellie let what's her face off that pole and let her go. I thought that was pretty fucking stupid.
I don't want to get into this again.
Oh,
It's gonna turn
we had
into
a
another.
spoiler thing last week. We don't need to do it this week.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you have anything else to say?
All right. I assume that this would be the last thing.
Yeah.
All right, cut it here, Brian.
All right.
No, please.
The music fades in.
No, please come
Have it,
back.
have it fade in and then stop.
Fade in, record scratch.
We're not
Well,
done.
Oh my god.
I guess you're wondering how I got here.
So, we're gonna talk about One Piece for a little while, but then
Oh, yeah?
also it'll involve you too, Brian.
Oh
Fuck
shit!
eventually.
I'm gonna be part of this. I don't
It's
know.
gonna
hope.
involve Brian because it's not One Piece the manga. It's One Piece at a Time, the Johnny Cash song.
No, it's
It's a good
fucking
song.
whatever anyway.
It's a good song.
I guess
love
I'm
Johnny
not
Cash.
involved anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't be involved either. So I've been sitting down with my brother, Squandy.
I don't need to edit that.
I love when we go over and see Squandy.
Go.
It's like
please
your
continue.
brother.
Please continue.
Batchery.
Squack.
Squandy and Squack.
Squack always walks around with his shirt off. I don't like it.
Please continue, Shep.
Quack, please put your
I've-
shirt on.
Squandy is in Whole Cake Island right
I thought you were
now.
gonna say Squandy is still in Squy School.
He is.
Whole Squake Island.
Whole Squake
Whole Cake Island.
And I was sitting there watching with him, and it comes to the part where the Straw Hats are like sailing to Whole Cake Island itself.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And in the anime, it's like, wow, look, big epic island. And it made me go, I think this is why I really like One Piece, because more than any other manga I have read or anime I've watched, Yu Yu Hakusho, which is not yet done. I will eventually bring that up again on the podcast. One Piece has this epic quality to it that it's not just like, oh, it's really long, so it's an epic. It's more like when you watch an epic film, things happen that make you go, yes, this fits into a kind of genre that is just epic. It follows like the hero's journey and stuff. And One Piece really has that down. And I'm a huge fan of epic films like Lawrence of Arabia and Seven Samurai and Star Wars. Star Wars is the shortest epic I can think of.
I mean, if it spans like the whole original trilogy.
The original trilogy altogether is an epic, but you can really take Star Wars 1977, A New Hope, and say that is an epic because it just follows the hero's journey so
Would you
well.
say... Never mind. No.
What?
Epics are different from just straight up adventure films, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like Indiana
never
Jones
mind.
is
Without...
it's like there's a certain sense of scale.
Yeah. Okay.
And One Piece.
Oh,
Just
Lord of the
has
Rings would
that.
be an epic.
Lord of the Rings is an epic, yeah.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
And I was like, wow, I can't think of any other manga that are epic like this. Because the only other thing that's like long that I've read is Dragon Ball. And Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
I think it has it in the Frieza saga. When there's
I was literally thinking of that, yeah, when they actually go to Namek.
the big space adventure and there's like a high tension scenario where the forces of good and evil are meeting.
Yeah.
Is that
But like for the rest of it, the Cell saga, no, it's just we're hanging out here and waiting to fight
That's-
Cell.
Well, that's Dragon Ball's one of its biggest problems. Not to like side tangent off into that, but it's why it doesn't work like that, because not only does Toriyama not give a shit about world building most of the time, like at all, really. Like
Yeah.
he brings up concepts sometimes, but it's not very well explained or at all. Most villains don't really have backstories, really, even stuff
Yeah.
like that. But also Toriyama expands his world. I've probably talked to you about this before, but he expands his world in huge ways and then limits them immediately every single time. We go to space. The entirety of the universe opens up for space.
Yep.
What's the first fucking thing we do? Fight the strongest guy in space. So what's left? Nothing. They go back to Earth, and now there's a new strongest guy that happens to be born on Earth, and then he has to bullshit his way. Like, oh, here's this ancient magic thing that used to be on Earth, and then it's like,
Yep.
oh, okay, no, we're in one of now. Okay, Battle of Gods happens. It's like, oh, we're in one of how many universes? And granted, it took a while for that to get limited because it takes 5 arcs in Super. But then what happens? The first time they meet up with most of the other universes, like throughout the entirety of Super, they go to 2 of the 12 other universes.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they have a tournament that introduces the other 10, they immediately fight the strongest guy from all of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, now where the fuck do you go from here?
Wait,
You've
okay.
completely limited yourself. Sorry, that got off tangent, but
I
just
think
wanna talk
that's interesting
The-
to talk about.
Yeah.
So define again like what would be an epic? Is the sense of scale?
It's
I say scale
It's
is
the-
the biggest
the-
thing.
the scale, but also like the focus of it always has to revolve around the characters. Otherwise, you wouldn't be writing an interesting story.
But
The characters are like iconic of something larger than themselves. There's typically something that the characters represent that makes it so that you can not see yourself in them, but relate in at least a certain way. Because I can't relate to Luke Skywalker, but he's the hero, and I feel a connection to him for that.
And Star Wars in general is just is the most standard good versus evil story that you can do, where it's very clear who is good and who is bad. And then
Yeah,
they
'cause-
just go and
is the Dark Crystal an epic?
it's
it's
there.
very close,
It's in the
if not
ballpark.
there.
It's in the ballpark.
I don't know if I
The original film, I mean, like
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Maybe.
It's very close, at least.
Yeah.
But
I feel like at least inspired by other epics or something.
yeah, it definitely feels like Jim Henson going, I want to make my Lord of the Rings.
I have a question. Would the story of Beowulf?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's something I was going to talk about, how like the epic is one of the most fundamental kinds of stories that exists.
Yeah.
Because Beowulf, the Epic of Gilgamesh, most of Greek mythology, these
Yeah.
are all epic stories that
The Bible.
the Bible,
Noah's Ark is epic, bro.
Veggie Tales. Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna say a Berserk.
that's yeah.
Pirates
that
don't
what you were
do-
thinking
I
too?
googled epic manga.
The pirates that don't.
I was
do
going through my
anything.
manga list because I'm like, I feel like I've read something else. And Berserk 100% is like an epic.
One Piece is not listed in the epic manga list on
well,
Wikipedia.
That's silly,
That's wrong.
because it very much is.
And
JoJo Part 7, maybe. Maybe that counts. I don't know.
I
It's
don't know.
the journey is across the entirety of the U.S. over the course of like 95 chapters,
Mhm.
and it's
It's
I
definitely
don't
a
know.
road trip story.
Yeah.
yeah.
okay.
Well, because what makes it count as an epic is I guess
See,
It has to be.
it's hard to
scale.
define.
There's
I
not
guess.
really an easy way to define it beyond just scale and like good versus evil stuff.
Hold on, people
Well,
kept
some parts of it might
interrupting.
count then.
People kept like adding on to what Chef said, but I feel like Chef didn't reach his point yet. Did you like?
I thought
I'm just going kinda.
All right.
I was
you just
hoping we
wanted
would reach a point.
you just wanted
Alright.
examples of epics.
I mean, we could.
Oh yeah,
name
people just kept
examples.
naming examples. And I'm like, you were on to something though. So
I did kind of have a place I was going, but I forgot,
oh, I'm so sorry.
which is very unprofessional of me. I'm
Can-
sorry,
well,
Mom.
Can I add in? Can I add in that? Because I was one of my friends. Every time I talk to her, we talk about anime, and the past couple weeks, it has been divulged into. I eventually start preaching about One Piece, and then go, "I'm sorry, I've been talking about One Piece for that long." But I was explaining yesterday how like what I like about it, and I was talking about the epic stuff, and I was just talking about how like the world keeps moving even when the characters are not in the focus,
Mm-hmm.
like and that's partly through like the cover stories and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but it's also just like every time they meet a new character, that character has gone through time just like they have, and they're not a new character. Every time a character returns, they have changed over time just like our cast has.
So that's something that I wouldn't say is a qualifier for it being an epic, but it's something that makes an epic story that much better.
Yes.
Because you see that in Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, where the world exists besides these characters.
I think that's just a good quality of any long form story is like
Yeah.
making sure you don't like just forget about new characters you introduce and like
What the fuck
What was that? What was that?
Like a spider.
All of a sudden we heard a slap. I wasn't even looking at you.
got him too. He's fucking dead. Look at him.
Okay, we killed a spider during
Ryan
the
Spider
discussion of
Killer.
epics. That's an epic.
The spider was on his own epic.
That spider went on a journey.
That spider had a family and I killed him. I feel good about it.
They're gonna get their revenge on you.
So
I guess I'll
They-
reach my final point that I remembered. Is just that I think that One Piece is something that a lot of people look at comics and manga and go, that's not literature. That's like weird stuff for kids. Although I don't know if that's the same opinion that exists in Japan, because so much stuff for
No,
adults gets created in this art form.
I was gonna say I think it's more of an American thing because I mean even in like I don't know, France is like the second biggest like
France has
consumers of manga and anime stuff.
France has a great graphic novel
That's
culture
Yeah.
in general.
There are some graphic novels I think are taken very seriously in English literature. Watchmen is
Watchmen.
one of them.
it's like
Yeah.
Watchmen, and it's the mouse Nazi one. What's that one called?
Mouse?
Snowpiercer.
Not
What?
Snowpiercer.
The mouse
sure.
Nazi one?
The Mouse Nazi graphic novel is
It's
called Mouse.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
and
I also don't know what that
Well,
is.
Snowpiercer,
really
the
good.
comic, doesn't have humans in it. I'm pretty sure. I think they
I
also
didn't
use
even know there was a
mice.
comic.
I didn't know there was a comic
No, yeah, it's
either.
based. Snowpiercer, the movie, is based on Snowpiercer, the comic.
And it's like mice? The fuck?
I don't think.
Hold on, let me double check.
I don't think it's gonna
I'm
be
not
mice.
Stupid.
But-
Anywho.
But see, like, Watchmen is something that it's the thing that is most generally considered to be literary. But I think one of the major reasons that is because it's such a like flip from the standard. Because, oh my God, what is his name? The author.
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore takes the superhero genre and just fucks with it so that he can create a story that's kind of telling not only of the world of the people who are reading superhero stories, but also the industry itself. And
I no,
What?
sorry, I'm gonna completely change. So you keep
Oh.
going.
Oh, very quickly, I'm totally fucking wrong.
It's mouse.
Yeah, I was thinking of mouse the whole time. Like I was literally looking at the art, and I'm like, oh, I'm a dumbass. I had to say it as soon as possible so people listening weren't like, Brian's a fucking idiot. Why would I listen to this podcast?
I just if I were to compile a list of things that are like a list of graphic novels that are very close to being literary, in my opinion, are One Piece definitely would be on it just for the quality of the epic story that it tells. It's basically the only modern graphic novel, comic, whatever, manga that I can think of that is so long and ubiquitous among so many people that it feels not just like it's an epic story like maybe Berserk is, but it also feels like the epics of yore, perhaps. Like Beowulf is something that forms a major a major underlying factor of the English literary tradition, which is why we study it. But the reason that it is a factor that way is because it's an epic story that is just something you can tell over and over again. And the whole reason that I'm talking about this is because I'm slowly rereading One Piece, and it definitely is something that I feel like I can come back to time and time again. And I'm definitely getting new things out of it this time because, well, last time I read it, I fucking sped through it and was just spending as much time reading One Piece as I could because I did not enjoy the semester I was having. But there's a lot in One Piece that you can come back to.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna read it again at some point, or like maybe watch parts of it or something. Like I don't know if I'm anytime soon going to sit down and start from the beginning again because I know everything that happened, so I could just go, I'm gonna read this part again or something. But I definitely agree. I've been watching. I mentioned it before. Totally Not Mark. Ryan and I watch his. He's been reading through all of it and putting out his editorial review reaction videos.
Yeah.
And
He's on break right now. No video.
he went on break right after he finished Marineford. He did, and I've just been like,
That's a good place to take a break.
exactly, yeah. I've been re-experiencing all of it through his eyes, which has been really fun. Where yeah, there's stuff or he's pointed out that I haven't noticed, and it's also just me going like I have such a connection to this world at this point,
And like, I'm sure he, being someone who writes video reviews, has analysis of things to put forth. I can't sit down and reread Dragon Ball and analyze anything. I can recognize like, oh, this is a reference to this pop culture thing. But it's not like there's analysis to be done.
That's also
Yeah.
funny because he is a his
no,
channel is a Dragon Ball analysis channel.
I did know that, yeah.
Yeah, he
And
literally
then
goes
he
into
did the
the
One Piece
characters
stuff
and stuff.
afterwards.
I did not realize the irony of what I was saying.
Yeah. Well, because it's like with Dragon Ball, it's like anything you get from like not anything, but like most like deeper things you're gonna get from Dragon Ball were not intentional. I don't think.
Oh, yeah.
Like Toriyama is really, really good at making his shit up week by week.
Mm-hmm.
Like that and his paneling are his strongest things, but like with Oda, it's like the complete opposite. Where it's like
Oda's had everything planned out since the beginning.
Yeah.
He's known since one of the first things he figured out was the ending, which hasn't happened yet.
yeah,
And
like it's
Toriyama is a great comic writer,
oh yeah.
but he's not a literary writer in any way.
Oh, I'm sure Dragon Ball was much better. Like I still really like it. I mean, I love it. It's one of my favorite series ever. But like, I wouldn't call it objectively good.
Yeah.
But it's like I think Dragon Ball. Like I wouldn't say it's not objectively good. It's like a good show. It's just not like amazing. But I would say it was probably more fun reading Dragon Ball week to week.
That's something I can definitely see.
Because he's very good at like keeping you, just like stringing you along week to week with like new stuff. Whereas Oda does that, but also keeps things on the back burner for later.
Well, see, I would even do the reverse of that and say that One Piece is better for me when like before I got to week, before I caught up, because then I could just read as much as I wanted in the sitting. just because I wanted to binge it, but because I'm like, the story flows so well this way. Where week to week, I'm now I caught up at like a really bad time where they keep having weeks off and stuff like that. But I'm really worried I'm gonna start forgetting things.
Yeah, that is like that is the other issue of it being a weekly comic where it is kind of hard to remember stuff. Much worse with monthly comics.
Oh yeah,
believe me, as
I'm not
someone
going
who
to
has
read
caught up with JoJo Part 8,
I'm not gonna read that till it's over.
Yeah, it's a good idea because it's that problem.
But you say you caught up at a really bad time, but you also caught up at a really good time because every single new chapter that's been coming out has been very eventful.
Bangers after bangers
like,
recently.
When you read One Piece for the first time and you can just bust through chapters, I don't like it didn't happen to me. It didn't dawn on me while I was doing it, but I was like, there are a couple chapters in here that are just like uneventful. They're good as a whole when you take it in all at once because it's a nice pacing thing. But when you're sitting there waiting for it week to week, it probably wasn't super great.
I don't think I could have gotten into manga if I was like living in the 90s in Japan or whatever and buying Shonen Jump every week and reading one chapter of every story. I don't think I would have clicked for me because I would have not remembered half of them.
Yeah,
well, that's why
my brain would have bled.
Yeah, well, that's why the way Japan does its comics is like so much nicer than American ones, where most of the time, like, there's always gonna be like the volume releases. Like if you want to get into Chainsaw Man or something in Japan,
they do that American comics. There's trade paperbacks every 6 issues.
I was under the impression it wasn't exactly like that.
No, they 100% do that. That's how I would read them because I wouldn't buy single. I mean, I bought some single issues, but I would usually buy the trades and be like, I'm reading, and usually that was enough for them to do like a little arc or something.
Either way,
I mean,
I
think
buy like a cheap volume of Chainsaw Man or something and just have like the first however many chapters and like there you go.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah.
Any other input anywhere you want to take this, Brian?
Well, I was thinking in the back of my head the whole time while you guys were watching One Piece. I was still thinking about the whole epic thing.
Yeah.
I think Mad Max Fury Road is considered an epic.
I could see
and
that.
the thing is, you haven't seen it yet, so I don't even know if you would think the same way. But there is the sense of scale.
Yeah.
And there's a very clear who's good, who's bad. And also, what they're fighting for affects a lot of people and not just the central characters. Even though it's technically not even like a war that's going on. It's just more like there's just a bunch of rebels. And halfway through the movie, they realize, like, oh, we can totally take back our lives and all that. I can't wait to watch that with you.
I'm excited.
If I'm allowed to cut in, I don't want to take it away from you. But there is... I'm going to proceed this by saying I might be about to say a bunch of stupid shit because they're like not fully formed ideas.
Yeah,
but
I've said so much stupid shit on this podcast. Go ahead.
So
someone ought to catch up to me.
I had 2 Parker ideas for possible. I don't want to call them epics, but definitely epic inspired. Because I've been thinking about this as we were talking. Adventure Time. I wouldn't call it an epic. I would almost, the more I think about it, it almost feels more like the world is the world of an epic and the characters are just not doing the epic thing.
It's like
it's like Rosencrantz and
I was just gonna say Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
Yeah,
just set in the world of an epic.
That's the play. It's not by Shakespeare, is it?
No.
It's Shakespeare's characters from Hamlet. It's another play about these 2 side characters, and is that what Lion King 1.5 is based off of? Because Lion King is Hamlet, or is that just
basically that?
So yeah, we're now. I mean, like Finn from Adventure Time is definitely a hero, and he definitely like their actions definitely changed the world, and very very much implied that they had a huge impact on this world based on stuff that happens at the end, but nothing that they do that has a huge impact happens during the show. It's more like the show ends, and then when they give like a peek at the future, they imply that Finn and Jake are these like world-changing heroes, but they don't really like show. I mean, they do have a big thing at the end, but I don't think it's like it's implied that they go on to do much bigger and bigger things, and I think that's interesting. Where it's like a, it's like only getting the outside bits of an Epic, you know. And then but it has the same qualities of like things change around them and characters go and do things and come back and are different, and like side characters and the really small characters will do it, and they have things like I don't want to spoil it because I know Ryan, like none of you have watched all of it, and
Yeah.
Ryan I know at least intends to watch all of it at some point, but they do really really cool things with believe it or not, lemon grab, where they like they put him in a situation where they like leave him to his own devices, and then they don't show you what happened, like what he's doing, and then they come back, and he has like like done something big, like he's without getting too much into it, he's basically like created his own little society. And so like stuff like that is really fun. The other example I was going to bring up that I'm not feeling as confident about saying this, especially because it's been a long time since I've read it, and I'm the only one who's read it in a significant amount, but the Pokemon manga, Pokemon Adventures, has like, I wouldn't call it an epic, but I think it has epic qualities in that the scale definitely, where the like the, you know, every Pokemon piece of media is going to be like, you know, beat the gym leaders and take on the Pokemon League, and that happens in like the first 3 volumes, and then they just keep going with the world. And now this is very much not like epics, I think, but the main characters flip every couple things. Like they don't follow Red to the end. Red is always around, and he will come into the story, but he's not the hero start to finish, which I think isn't very.
You know, like Beowulf, even though there's a big time skip, he's still always the hero.
Yeah,
He kills
there
the
are
dragon
like
even though he's old.
This will be like they follow Red, and then they follow, you know, Yellow or Gold, and Red's like part of the story, and then like when they do Fire and Leaf Green, Red is once again the one they're following. But the sense of scale I think is really there, where like, especially because it starts out small and gets bigger, where it starts out with like fighting the Pokemon League, and then the next story is like the next story of the plot is Red is missing, actually. But then it's like Gold and Silver is when they start making Gold, Silver, Crystal is when they start making the scale even bigger and bigger, and Ruby and Sapphire, it gets to the like, oh, apocalypse, like stopping apocalyptic event level things. But another thing that I really like from it that I think is a quality of epics is the characters' differing motivations and factions and stuff like that. That's what I associate with epics, like how in One Piece the characters who are, there's very clear, you know, there's very clear good and evil, and then there's all the stuff in between that, like, depending on the situation, will flop between sides and stuff like that, like the whole Impel Down arc and stuff like that, and there is that in Pokemon Adventures. One of my favorite examples, one of the first things where I was like, this is such a creative way to do the Pokemon story, is that during the first arc with the Pokemon League, the gym leaders, Sabrina, Koga, and Lieutenant Surge, are also members of Team Rocket. And they do weird faction stuff like that, where, like, not all the gym leaders are good people.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, I mean, there's Giovanni in the games, but it's, like, that is a continuing theme where, like just because somebody is a gym leader doesn't mean, like, because the gym leaders in those games are essentially, like, police officers. They're, like, if major things are going down, they are some of the most powerful trainers and must protect things, right? But they make it clear from the beginning that, like, oh, but they don't have to be a good person. They just have to be strong to become a gym leader.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that I think is cool. Just those are 2 little things that popped in my head while we were talking about the epic stuff.
So yeah.
I actually thought of a couple things as far as epics go. I think Avatar would count. Last Airbender, I imagine.
I'll agree to that.
Yeah.
That's an epic.
What about, like...
Korra.
No. Actually, no.
Squandy is watching Korra with his girlfriend right
Oh.
right Anyway,
were you
But I
gonna
was
say,
gonna
Rhino?
the like with the MCU count.
The
like-
Avengers films, like I feel like Infinity War and Endgame, those are definitely epics.
I think those two as a pair.
Like, those are like
I-
universe scaling wars and all that.
But I also don't think
Ant-Man
that.
and the Wasp is not an epic.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think there's a hero's journey, like. In the if you just selected, like the pair of Infinity War and Endgame, I don't think there is because there's barely even a main character.
Thanos.
Yeah, it's the reverse hero's journey, the
Yeah.
villain's journey.
the villain's journey.
But,
wow.
What was I gonna say? But like, are you okay, Brian?
Brian was looking. A little
Ryan is
uncomfortable.
touching. He
Brian
is
was
feeling
looking
up my leg with his foot, and there's a lot of sexual tension going on
okay,
right
okay.
now.
All right, cut the
Anyway.
podcast there.
No, do not.
Oh, I thought you did.
No. No. I'm going to say that the last two Avengers movies are epics because of its sense of scale and how much of the story can affect everyone outside of the characters even.
I think it's too hollow to be an epic. Like I said, we don't. The characters. There's no main character of those movies, and if you're going, the whole MCU, like, the MCU as a whole, I definitely would say no because it's like. I wouldn't say Iron Man is the main character of these movies. Like, he's the main character of three of them.
The whole MCU is more reminiscent of like mythology.
Yeah.
Because
I'll agree to
mythology as a whole is not a singular epic story,
Mhm.
but it contains some epic stories.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We can't think of any particularly good examples from the MCU, but it has those different stories that have different things to take away from them.
Guardians
What
of the
about-
Galaxy, maybe.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
It has the same qualities as Star
It's
Wars.
very
It's a space
Star
opera,
Wars-esque,
yeah.
Well, it's just a space opera. I don't know.
Space
But
opera.
it's still it has the sense of scale. There's a lot of people outside of the five main characters that will be affected by whatever the villain's doing.
Space opera is like tangential from epics. Like Guardians of the Galaxy and Flash Gordon have epic qualities, but they're mostly just space opera.
What about
Gotcha.
Harry Potter?
No,
I would not say
I
Harry
wouldn't
Potter
say
counts.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter doesn't have scale at all.
You know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Last-
very.
the
It's
last-
very.
That's
like,
why I wouldn't bring up something like
within their own.
like My Hero
community.
or something where
No,
like
yeah.
stuff affects the world, but it doesn't like.
Harry Potter it might not have scale,
It has the hero's
but it
journey,
has
right?
scope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
True, I guess. Yeah.
Voldemort could kill everyone, hypothetically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if he succeeds, and so that's something. I'm kind of, as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I don't know. I made the qualifier that scale is very important to an epic, but when I think about Seven Samurai,
That's not scale.
it doesn't have scale, but it has major scope for the character. It does have some scale because
yeah,
you
'cause
have
I was
to
about
collect.
to say like there is. It depends on like.
It's got just enough scale to make it an epic, but not enough for it to be
Because
akin
when you
to
watch
Star
it,
Wars.
there's a shit ton of stuff going on in it. So like, it's
You're
all
and you're bringing in the Seven Samurai from
It's
such a
scale-
variety of different places.
it's
that
scale in a relative sense. It gets muddy there.
yeah, but it has scope because if they don't do the thing, the whole village will suffer gravely.
Yeah.
Then I guess My Hero might count then, because the whole world is fucked if they don't beat the.
I
big
still
bads.
wouldn't call Harry Potter an epic though. That's just me. I feel like there's a lot of world building, but you don't see a lot of the world. It's still mostly at Hogwarts
that is
every
my-
single book.
That
Yeah,
is a
that-
big
that-
problem.
that-
That's what I
yeah.
meant. It's like you're always at Hogwarts, and
It's-
yeah, people from other places.
The
come
world
in,
building
but
is
you
always
hardly see it.
implied. Like we're gonna learn about this animal, but we're gonna take the animal from its natural habitat and bring it to Hogwarts for the students to learn. Like
Yeah.
stuff like that,
Man,
where you don't see enough of
here's the
world.
Hungarian
Saying shit like
dragon.
that is making me think about like the potential that Fantastic Beasts had.
You know, it's
Oh
an
my
epic.
god, they keep
Percy
mentioning
Jackson's an epic.
Percy Jack. What
I was
Greek
thinking about.
mythology?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, it is an
Like,
epic though.
It's like it's yes, but also like we kind of mentioned.
Actually,
Greek
even the
mythology
first book
already.
could just be its own epic. Honestly,
Yeah.
It's like Star Wars.
Oh man, I can't wait for that Disney Plus show.
Blessed. Rick
Oh my
Riordan.
god, Percy Jackson's better than Harry Potter. I said it.
I say it too.
Oh, Fots Shired.
It'd be bigger than
Anyone
Harry Potter
edit-
if it had a successful film
It would
franchise,
be.
which it didn't.
It would be because it's better.
Yeah.
It's so much better.
No, there's no edit where Percy Jackson got a gun.
Are they gonna make Nico a hot goth boy? Is that what's gonna happen?
Is Nico
Which
the?
one was Nico? I
the
need
best
to
friend?
see-
Hades kid.
Oh shit!
Oh,
They're
no.
totally gonna make him like a.
They're
hot
gonna
goth
make
boy.
the girl that what is that
I forget.
daughter
I
of Ares? I think.
forget.
No.
It's the kid, Hades kids. The two of them.
Oh, they're both Hades
Yeah,
kids.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Fuck. It's been so long since I read the
Dude.
books. I don't remember her name, but she's like a
don't
big
remember either.
character. Like what? The third book onward.
Yeah, it's the third. One of them's called like the House of Hades. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
I'm excited for that. I should just read. I should just stop reading Harry Potter and just reread.
Well, there's
Yeah.
at least the
Then
first.
tell me what happens because I don't remember them that well,
Yeah.
even though they're my favorite book series.
At least the first
much I
one,
wanna
but I don't
read.
know if they did it for all of them. It was reordered and remade it as a graphic novel.
Oh, I should look into that.
I don't know if he did
Oh
it for
yeah,
all of
I
them.
have The Lightning Thief as a comic.
Yeah, that's
or
what I'm
graphic
talking about.
novel.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they did it for all the others, but I know like for the anniversary of Lightning Thief years ago, they were like, oh, we just adapted the entire book into a graphic novel. It's way easy to read. You can do it in one sitting. I can't do that with any other novel,
Yeah.
but it's awesome. I like it.
That reminded me
Alright.
about how my sense of humor hasn't changed in like 12 years because when I first got the Lightning Thief book, I accidentally called it the Lightning Beef and thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever. So, yeah.
Schmeat. But I think that that's a good place to wind it down because
Yeah.
speaking
I
of
Great
think-
rating,
discussion, guys.
Yeah,
Give
that
yourselves a round
conversation-
of applause.
I think that conversation. You smack your microphone.
I hit the pop filter.
I think that conversation was pretty epic.
An epic of epic epicness was the tagline for Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, speaking of Epic, we should have talked about how Epic Games is suing Apple and Google.
oh my god,
Nah,
we'll talk
who
about that
cares?
next week.
Next
Yeah.
week,
Brian,
fuck
Brian,
Brian,
that.
hold on.
Fuck
Ready?
that.
I'll give you a place to cut it.